Good evening. Tonight, the FA Cup and two quarter-finals. There's the London clash, Chelsea versus Arsenal.
Armstrong. And ball's there, just taken away by Phillips.
And the match that takes the second division side to the semi-final, Sunderland versus Luton.
Hewitt. The quarter field.
But first, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Chelsea the cup winners in 1970, Arsenal the winners in 71 and the beaten finalists last year. Two sides are between them in the past few seasons have won almost every major honour.
Well, now a look at the Chelsea side. A make do and mend affair because Chelsea have had so many injury problems, plus the fact that Ron Harris is under suspension. Also injured, David Webb and Bill Garner. And just back after injury, Eddie McCready, who captains the side today, John Dempsey at number 5, and Peter Houseman at number 11. And these players are lacking match practice. A great deal today will depend on the strikers for the two clubs. A look at the Arsenal side. George in place of Radford, and Jeff Blockley is still not fit. So Frank McClintock, the sub-captain, continues at number 5. The substitute is the Irish international, Sammy Nelson. Number 10, Ray Kennedy, Alan Ball in the back. McClintock. And this pitch looks to me, in view of the dry spell we've had in London recently, as if it's been heavily watered. Hinton. McCready. Foul given. Peter Houseman. Straight back to John Phillips. John Phillips has had an extended run this season in place of Peter Matty, who's been one of Chelsea's many injured players. It's Garland. Now ball for Arsenal. McNabb. Garland in the way. Number 8 is Hudson. Story. Ball. Kennedy. Houseman for Chelsea. Osgood. Foul tackle by number 6, Peter Simpson. Marvin Hinton placing the ball. That's aimed towards Osgood. Rice. Applause for Rice's coolness. Garland. Simpson rolling into McClintock. Kemba. Kelly. These two sides in the two league meetings this season, Arsenal have won them. On the last two league meetings here at Stamford Bridge, Arsenal won them both 1-0 earlier this season and 2-1 last season. Eddie Kelly with the throw. Ball found space. Kennedy. And that's Hudson for Chelsea. McNabb. Houseman. This time it's George for Arsenal. Good ball. And that showed a little bit of hesitancy and nervousness in the Chelsea defence. John Phillips was always favourite to get that against Alan Ball. George, who set up the through ball. Ball. Royce. Pretty perfect day for football. Dry and bright, very little wind. And Hollins now for Chelsea. Hudson. Claiming the corner, the referee doesn't rate it. George out jumping the defender. That's Hudson to Locke. Garland. Good tackle by McNabb. Just out.
Thank you.
Gary Locke has come into this side earlier in the season and done so well. Hudson. Dempsey. Locke, number 2. Carried by Kennedy. Hudson leaving it for Locke. This is Hollins. Locke. Dempsey in support. Garland. Good flick. Osgood. On the edge of the area, but waved on. The referee waved that away, and Osgood's face a comment in his own right. Frank McClintock. It was George again, and he was fouled. Kelly with a kick. Simpson. McCready. Armstrong. Little George Armstrong just hovering and looking for the ball coming loose, which it did. John Hollins, number 4, Alan Ball in the background, George Armstrong with the corner. Hinton. Eddie Kelly. To Ball. Armstrong. Ball was fouled by Hollins, who's being spoken to. Back there helping the defence as Armstrong takes the kick. Awkward. Phillips misjudged it completely. Well, it's got out of play, but John Phillips was committed then and didn't get it. McClintock, Story, and Hollins penalised. So it's Peter Simpson with the kick. Both Charlie George and Kennedy signalling. Well, that's for Kennedy. They all missed it. Chelsea. Locke was called and Hudson heard him. Osgood. Kemba, and it's Kelly in the way. Osgood! 1-0! And only players like Osgood take goals like that. A really superb volley. You don't blame goalkeepers, you congratulate the scorer. Brilliantly taken, showing all the class that Osgood possesses. 15 minutes gone, 1-0 to Chelsea, and a goal to remember. McClintock. McCready. McClintock again with time. Kennedy. Ball. McNabb. Story. Arsenal ball. Simpson. Ball. Story. George. Whistle's gone. Hinton penalised. George is causing a bit of trouble to this defence. Showing a great deal of desire. The wall being pushed back. It's Kemba, Hudson and Houseman. Golly looks happy with what he's got there. Garland now joined them. And Charlie George facing it. The goalkeeper now beginning to get worried with the extra man on the wall. That's George. McNabb. Corner. Gary Locke. Armstrong with a corner. Ball. Is about 5'6", 5'7". Rarely scores with his head. His third FA Cup goal, the equaliser for Arsenal today, and pretty vital too. Brings them right back in, and he certainly got some power off the pace of the ball when it arrived on his forehead. One each. 22 minutes gone. Luck for Chelsea. Dempsey. Garland. Number 4 is Holland. Simpson. To McNabb. Locke. Aidan Osgood some pushing. And Osgood waved away. He's complaining. In fact, the whistle has gone. The players haven't heard it. Celebrate now a great bank of red and white. Wilson with the kick. And a foul by Dempsey. McClintock to Rice. Dempsey. Simpson. Rice. McClintock. Oh, that's trouble. Tangle, Kennedy, and George. 2-1. And George collects because of the frailty of this Chelsea defence. In all sorts of tangles then. Dempsey harried by Kennedy. Phillips not sure. The ball arriving back to Charlie George. Perhaps a bit lucky to get a second chance. 2-1 now in 2 minutes from being 1-0 down. Free kick then to Chelsea. Marvin Hinton. Collins. Kelly. George beaten by McCready. Story. Block for Chelsea. Unlucky. Hudson. Houseman. Osgood. Field for penalty. And again the referee says no. Mr. Hill see what's the matter, but play goes on. Osgood limping slightly. Looking towards the linesman a moment ago he was. Simpson, back down. Kennedy. Linton for Chelsea. Hudson. Hollins. McClintock so steady at the back. Hudson to Garland. Hudson again. Kemba. And Kemba thought he was held. And the referee's given obstruction. Fascinating position this inside the penalty area. Interesting decision by Gordon Hill, the referee, who's already turned down 2 possible penalties. Hudson having a word with him. The referee being definite. Now, what can Chelsea invent from this? An indirect kick. Arsenal with all 11 players now between ball and goal. Wilson can't see a thing. Hollins, it's all broken down, has it? Has now. Ball. The whistle's gone. A free kick to Arsenal. Giving the players time to push up the field. Kennedy. Hudson back to McCready. Osgood. Kemba number 10. Osgood. Kemba. No whistle, play waved on, and Kemba complaining. Rice. Hollins now to Hudson. Lock. Osgood. Garland. 2 each by Hollins. And Hollins took that, giving Wilson not the slightest hope. It really was a remarkable piece of quick thinking and snap shooting by Hollins to restore Chelsea. 32 minutes gone. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Both these sides behind in this match, and they've both pulled themselves level. Rice to Armstrong, and this is a cup tie in every sense of the word, and a derby as well, living up to all its promise. So few of these matches live up to the label, but this certainly is. Rice. George. Hollins. Kennedy for Arsenal. Story. McNabb. Garland who blocked it. Simpson helping. Ball. McNabb with space. Armstrong. And ball's there, just taken away by Phillips. That was right off Alan Ball's head. Hudson for Chelsea. Rice number 2, looking for Wilson. Dave Sexton alongside him, Baldwin. And there's the half-time whistle. A first half in which both sides have been behind to come back and level the scores. Hudson back to number 2, Lock. Apart from the 4 goals, a great deal of good football by both sides in that first half. But the Chelsea defence has certainly looked a little bit wobbly. Garland, that's Osgood. Hudson. Offside. Canberra had seen he was offside in spite of Osgood's complaint, tried to get back on. It was touch and go whether he got back on or not, but the linesman reckoned he didn't. McClintock with the kick. Once Osgood 10 yards away, which he now is. Miskicked it. George. Collins. McNabb. George. Simpson. Hinton. Osgood. He's going to set it up for Armstrong. McClintock. McNabb. George. Ball. Kelly looking to score the sort of goal that he scored against Peter Shilton at Leicester in an earlier round. Garland. McNabb. Ball. Story. Dempsey. Peter Story with the throw. Not much available to him at the moment. George has made a bit of space. Dempsey's with him now. It's Dempsey. This Chelsea defence is not convincing. Dempsey. Beaten by Armstrong. Paul, right of his toe. It's Armstrong. Just wide. And this Chelsea defence is so flimsy on occasion. Simpson. Hudson for Chelsea. Lock. Garland. That's what he set up for Armstrong. Did well to hang on to it, but it surely must break down. It hasn't. Story. McNabb. Set up on for the cross. Well cut out too by Dempsey. This is Story. Ball. Well blocked by Eddie McCready, and ball appeals for hands. Corner given. Ball smiling and shaking his head. McCready on the post, Dempsey on the line, number 5. Kennedy's the problem there for Dempsey, and Armstrong with the kick. Houseman back to McCready. And nobody upfield to give it to. Houseman beaten by Rice. Chelsea, in fact, at the moment are living a little bit hand to mouth, especially in defence. McCready. Osgood. McClintock. To number 4 Story. McClintock deserves the applause. Kennedy. McNabb. Kennedy, McNabb. Leaves it for Simpson. Kemba. Now Osgood, what can he do with this? And Wilson performed the sort of rescue act that Osgood believes deserves a penalty, but Gordon Hill, the referee, will not have. But Wilson saved Arsenal then, because they got in trouble they should never have been in. McCready. Hudson. Osgood. Now, Kemba. Time to look, measure it, and hit it, but it was always spinning away wide. Hollins to Dempsey. Story finding Kennedy. Armstrong. George. Good ball. Simpson. Charlie George. Ball's there. Oh, there was a bit of a tangle there. The defenders weren't sure what was going on. McCready's got a knock. And the ball is limping as well. Me with one or two comments. Good tackle by Armstrong. Hollins. Houseman. McCready. Houseman number 11. Hollins. Houseman. Hollins again, number 4. McClintock blocked it. Hollins once more. Osgood, that's Kemba. That might have been the most sensational goal of the season. Knocked back by Osgood, and Kemba flicked it with the back of his heel. McCready, oh, he missed it. George. Good recovery by McCready. Foul. McCready, who normally wears glasses, sometimes plays in contact lens. Hollins now with a kick. Simpson. Garland for Chelsea. Number 8, Hudson. Kemba. Kemba now has been so close twice. And at the start of this second half, Arsenal asked the questions. They couldn't break Chelsea down, and now it's Chelsea coming forward with the best chances. Armstrong for Arsenal. McNabb. The way to goals cut off. That's McCready. Houseman, number 11. McCready. Kelly, ball. Kelly, ball. McClintock. Overhit. And a foul by George. Play waved on. McCready. Garland waving on the far side. Garland. Kemba. Hollins is there. This is Kemba. Kennedy. Hinton to Phillips. Phillips to McCready. The referee has had a look at the watch. Houseman. Osgood. Story pass. Number 10, Kennedy. Ball. George. To Kelly. Story is square. Right on the outside is Armstrong, but that's long. McNabb. In the way, Dempsey. Garland. Armstrong. Hudson. Cleared by McCready. This is Rice for Arsenal. That is that, and the two teams live to meet again. Chelsea, who scored first, then 2 goals for Arsenal in 2 minutes, the equaliser by Hollins. The first half really far better than the second half. A little bit of tenseness crept in and didn't allow them to play with the freedom they had in the first half, but still a good cup tie and a good derby.
And the replay will be at Highbury on Tuesday evening, kick-off 7:30, and it will not be an all-ticket match. Well, the match raised a few talking points today, and here now is the Chelsea manager Dave Sexton and also the Arsenal goalkeeper Bob Wilson. So often cup ties, especially when they're derbies, don't live up to the promise, but this was an exception. Was it like that for you playing?
Yes, it was. First half, I think, was a tremendous half. From a goalkeeper's point of view, it's terrible. If you've let 2 in at half-time, you feel you're going to let about 5 in. But I did think the first half was exceptional stuff. And goal-mouth incidents and near misses. I thought it was a great game. It must have been very good to watch.
Plus, David, a lot of good outfield play as well.
Yeah, there was. In the second half, there were no goals, but it was still very competitive, and fellas were trying really hard. It was quite a fierce pace, I thought, right the way through.
You must have had 1 or 2 anxious moments in the first half, because I thought your defence was just a little bit on the wobble.
Well, I think the thing is that they're a good side, Arsenal, and they put any defence under pressure. They can only just hit a high ball up there, and that fellow Kennedy is so good at shielding the ball that he can, they play a lot off of him, sort of thing. But I thought after getting the 2 goals down, we made a great start. I thought we fought back very well, and I was delighted with them at half-time.
Bob, we'll do a reverse and all. You talk about the 2 goals that went past you, and ask David about the 2 that they scored.
Well, the first goal against me was a picture goal. I mean, I should think that's goal of the month before we start. But that's Ozzy. It's, he's without doubt one of the most skillful players in England. I mean, there's no question of that, if not in Europe. And it fell very nicely. I think it was his left foot. But I mean, from the moment he struck it, from my point of view, you make a gesture. Obviously, you don't stand and watch a ball. And I was moving to my left, but of course it was, as soon as he hit it, I knew it was in the back of the net. The second one was just reaction. John Hollins' reaction was terrific. Pat Rice was almost in, because he's very quick too. And he almost got in on the tackle, and John Hollins he swept in, got it with his right foot and tucked it right in the left-hand corner.
Again, a gesture, no hope.
Well, yes, I was down again, but I was waving again, yeah, I'm afraid.
I thought they were really 2 superb goals, brilliantly taken, both of them. Now, David, the 2 Arsenal goals, the first was from a corner, wasn't it?
Was from a corner, yes. Well, we decided to put our fullbacks out. Little George Armstrong, he's mustered at the corners on both sides. So we decided to put somebody out close to him to try and cut down his angles. But he's such an accurate kicker of a ball with both feet that he managed to find a way past Gary Locke, I think it was. And I think John Hollins was slightly deceived by Gary standing there. He thought he was going to get a deflection or something. And Alan Ball went up and headed a rear-headed goal.
All 5 foot nothing of it.
Yeah.
Now, David, the second Arsenal goal, to say the least, from the Chelsea point of view, was a bit of a mess, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a ball went through the defence, and I thought 2 or 3 times we could have got it away, but for some reason or other we didn't. It kept rebounding back, and eventually Charlie George took advantage of everybody missing it. But it was a bad goal from our point of view. I must say that from the first goal, George Armstrong, I made the man of the match, and I thought he had a tremendous game.
Now, a final question to both of you. I've never known so many penalty claims. And in fact, they were all on one side. They were all Chelsea claims. Did you think you were hard done by, David?
No, not hard. I've got every confidence in Gordon Hill. I think he's a terrific referee, and I'm quite happy to abide by his decisions. I thought we might have had a chance with the one down this end late in the second half with Ozzy. But I'm quite happy. If he says it's not a penalty, it's not.
And Bob, of course, you were very much involved on the spot for those.
Well, I was I was just hoping for the right decision. Ozzy's so good on the edge of the box that there is a penalty claim on a lot of times. He's so quick on the turn, and he gets in, and I personally thought the tackles were good, but again, Gordon Hill, terrific referee.
Well, now for the match between Sunderland and Luton, a match bound to produce the second division side in the semi-final. Sunderland, who won in 37, Luton have never won the cup but reached the final in 59. The commentator is Barry Davis.
These streets around Roker Park probably haven't changed very much since 1937, when Sunderland last won the FA Cup. And the scenes inside Roker Park are also really like It's a fitting tribute to the revival wrought by Bob Stoker since he arrived in December. And the locals are making great play of the figures 3-7 and 7-3, turning them the other way around, especially as Sunderland beat Luton on their way to that cup victory. Because of all this, Sunderland are being made favourites against a team who have beaten them twice this season, stand 11 places above them in the second division, and whose 10 victories away from home include that cup win at Newcastle. At this moment, it's the goalkeepers who are making the headlines. Montgomery of Sunderland, because this is his 453rd appearance for the club, a new record. And Keith Barber of Luton, because he's back in the team just 33 days after breaking his right leg in training. And the two teams in front of the two goalkeepers, the Sunderland side exactly that which knocked Manchester City out of the cup in the last round. Malone passed the fitness test yesterday. Richie Pitt keeps the number 6 shirt, and the substitute is David Young. Luton Town without Alan Slough and Barry Butlin, who's in hospital. Anderson comes in at number 8, and the substitute is Derek Hales. So Vic Hallam all set to play against the club he left just over a month ago. And Luton Town playing left to right with the breeze in their favour. A perfect spring afternoon. Sunderland in the striped shirts. That's Richie Pitt. Bob Stoker, the manager of Sunderland, in the mac and the hat. Mick Horswell. Hallam took that well. Dennis Stewart out on the right. John Ryan couldn't make the tackle. Kerr, corner. Tom Shanks is the player who picked up Kerr. Came off Hallam rather than the other way around. Here's Watson. Hughes trying to make it just a touch for more. Here's Kerr. Stewart couldn't make it. Watson and battering each other's way. Offside. Vic Hallam the furthest forward. Two across to take Aston, who's now trying his luck on this flank. Shanks. Porterfield. For Stewart. Kerr square. Hallam. Well, Hallam's final shot, but Kerr was square of Stewart. But when he came to play the ball, Kerr had gone too far forward. Heinsohn. It's out. Kerr to Stewart. Hallam, staked by John Ryan. Stewart, and the closest yet. Don't think Barber would have made it. It really wasn't much over the angle, and all arising from a mistake by John Ryan, who really played an up and under in the box. Watson. Stewart again. He's been the pick of the Sunderland front line. Beaten there by Shanks. Now Malone. Now Kerr. Hughes over this side unmarked. But 2 against 2. And the whistle going very quietly in an atmosphere of some quiet. And the fairly undistinguished half comes to an end with a scoreline between the two second division sides in the sixth round of the FA Cup. Sunderland 0, Luton Town 0. So Sunderland now with the breeze at their backs. No doubt that they had the chances in that first half. But they kick off with the score still 0-0. Luton will presumably be quite happy if it stays that way to the end of 90 minutes, so they can get Sunderland back to Kenilworth Road. Here's Anderson. Malone. It's been a fairly tame affair so far, without any of the Roker atmosphere that one has heard so much about. It didn't look too happy on the straight ball down the middle then, Luton. Thompson forced to give away the corner. Maybe they'll try that again, Sunderland. The wind in their favour. Malone coming for the short one. Watson has come too far over. Here's Hallam. Corner. Takes Sunderland into double figures on corners. Go again after many a slip. Hughes can make it, but Watson did! At last they've got it right from a set piece. Hughes on the near post, and Watson came in the centre of the goal. Nobody picked him up, and a very solid header gave Barber no chance. Watson's fourth goal in the FA Cup competition brings Roker Park at long last to life. Anderson. Now we might see a different game, perhaps. Porterfield. Offside against Hallam. That's the popular end, and at last they've got something ready to get their teeth into. Promise has finally been delivered. Hallam can chase that. I think Ryan will get there first. I would think the kick has got to be taken because Hallam wasn't 10 yards. That's the Sunderland bench. Again a bad kick by Moore. Stewart, Horswell breaking right, number 4. Sunderland could kill this if they can really drive on now. Here's Porterfield. No shot really. It's half tackled. It's a foul by Pitt. Misjudgment more than anything else. side. Jimmy Connor, Len Dunn, Bob Gurney and Johnny Matson, the goalkeeper, presumably among the most delighted. Stewart, Hughes, Horswell Square, Hughes in trouble. Aston down the middle. Gordon Heinsohn. Johnny Aston with no chance of collecting that. Malone. Stewart. They were desperately square then, Luton. Hughes going into the middle, number 8. Goal has been a real shot in the arm to the match, in particular to Sunderland and most certainly to the crowd. Stewart. Porterfield. Hughes. Away by Moore. They're all watching, and there's Hughes. Goal kick. This Luton defence has been much more suspect than it was against Newcastle. Guthrie. Oswell. Kerr. Hallam waiting. Coming to the near post, the foul by Shanks. Jack Taylor quite unperturbed. Just going to give his opinion on that. Watson is up again. Hughes running across, beautifully taken by Barber. Derek Hales has come on, and John Aston is the player who has gone off, sitting already in the trainer's bench. And Hales has got 20 minutes to play to help Luton pull this game out. Watson. Stewart. Porterfield to his left, number 10, steaming in. But no steam in the shot, even so it nearly made it. Porterfield, there's a yawning gap in that inside left position. He finds Hughes. Hughes on his own. Barber did well from Billy Hughes. From a set piece that the goal came last time. Corner on that side, and this time it's Pitt who's come up and not Watson. Coming instead to Stewart. No, Pitt won it! Beautiful turn! Beautiful turn! And the scorer is Guthrie. And that surely makes it certain that Sunderland are in the semi-finals. Another set piece. Pitt went up this time. He got it. Nothing like as hard as Watson's header. But Guthrie deep in the 6-yard box, turning well, the semi-finals for the first time since 1956. You wouldn't think it looking at that bench. Horswell, that was a fine ball. Here's Stewart. Good blocking. Now Hallam. Oh, he really tanked that. Harry Haslam in the centre. He's had a good season with Luton in his first season in spite of this result. Stewart. The Porterfields. With the final whistle it is. Sunderland go through into the semi-finals. 2 goals in the second half after they had many chances to score in the first half. Both goals from set pieces. The first by Watson after 56 minutes. The second by Guthrie after 81. And really Luton can have no complaints. The right side carries the second division banner into the semi-finals.
So, Sunderland are now through to the semi-finals for the first time since 1956. Their crowd of over 53,000 was the biggest of the day, producing money of over £26,000. Here now their manager, Bob Stokoe.
Bob, the revival continues.
Very much so, Barry, yes. It's been a great day for Sunderland Football Club. Everyone, supporters, directors, players and that. Very delighted.
Were you worried at any stage?
I feel you always worry till the first goal goes in. I felt first half we were doing well and everything but finish. We couldn't just put that final pass in there, and one asked them at half time if we could do this just a little bit better, and we must create chances in the hope that we'd get the breaks and that.
What about Luton? Did they worry you?
More, I think, before the match than actually during it. We'd been fed all the week, as you normally are, pre-match cup ties, about the danger we were going to have from Aston and Ryan, and that because of what they did at Newcastle. But I'm delighted to say my fullbacks did a magnificent job, and Busby never got the chance to turn. We're very dominant in midfield with my skipper and Ian Porterfield and Mickey Horswell, and that to give the forwards some tremendous support.
You said you had the chances in the first half, and among them the set pieces seem to be going all wrong.
We were a little anxious with the final. We always searching for Big Dave at the far post, and we said at half time we were just overreaching for crosses. Let's try and drop something a little bit shorter, and we got a beauty. You know, it was perfectly hit, perfectly timed, and in she goes.
He didn't half hit it with his head too.
Well, this is Dave. He won the game for us against Oxford, and that when you've got a dual-purpose centre-half like this guy is, it's tremendous.
And the other goal also came from a defender, and a tremendous turn for a defender.
Yes, Ronnie did very well. Well, we felt that if he could win his battle against the winger and go on and give us any help he could, particularly set positions, particular corner kicks and that, because this is Ronnie, even in five-a-side, he likes to get in where the goals are, and he couldn't have hit a better one.
You're the last second division side in. Who do you fancy in the semi?
I think it'll be the other way around. I think the 3 first division managers will be waiting for us, Barry. They'll be the ones that's looking for Sunderland, and I don't think it really matters. We're very proud to be in the semi-final, and I think if the players give what they give today, then we might give somebody a fright.
Nice to see the good times returning to the North East and to Sunderland in particular. Well, now the news of the other 2 quarter-finals. Derby County 0, Leeds United 1, and Leeds the cup holders go through to the semi-finals with a 29th minute goal by Peter Lorimer, who scored, you may remember, 2 penalties against Derby County in the league just 2 weeks ago. Wolves 2, Coventry City 0. The goals, Richard after 6 minutes and Hibbert with a penalty after 49. And Wolves now reach the semi-finals for the first time for 13 years. And they've reached the last 4, by the way, without conceding a goal in any of their 4 FA Cup ties this season. They've played them all at home. Well, there's been a fair amount of league football today. We'll look at the tables, and first the top of the first division. And with Arsenal and Leeds involved in the Cup, Liverpool go 2 points clear. They won 1-0 at Stoke City today, where an own goal by John Mahoney, the Welsh international, gave them the points. Leeds, Arsenal second, of course, Leeds third. Ipswich, they won today. They're 2 points behind Leeds, and Newcastle are in 5th place. At the bottom, West Bromwich Albion are now 3 points behind the rest after their defeat at Ipswich. Manchester United's 2-1 win over Newcastle United was watched by a near 49,000 crowd. That takes them 2 places up the table to 18th place, but their centre-half Jim Holton was sent off the field. Norwich City dropped a point at home to Leicester and Crystal Palace, well, they didn't play today. The news in Division 2, Queen's Park Rangers had no game, so Burnley regained the leadership. They were at Cardiff today, and they won by 1-0, a goal scored by Frank Casper. Blackpool third, 6 points behind. Fulham lose ground, they lost today, they were in third place. Sheffield Wednesday are fourth, and Aston Villa back in 6th place. Those leading 2 now so far clear, it will take a miracle to catch them. News in Division 3, Bolton are now 3 points clear after their 2-1 win over Rochdale today. Notts County and Blackburn Rovers also won at home, but Oldham Athletic, rather surprisingly, lost ground because they were beaten at home, at Oldham that is, 1-0 today by Charlton Athletic. Division 4, Hereford United improved their chances of promotion in their first season in the league by winning very emphatically 4-0 at Northampton. They're now 4 points behind the leaders Southport, who played last night. Mansfield and Cambridge are 3rd and 4th. Well, that's it tonight. Hope you enjoyed the programme. A reminder now about Sports Night next Wednesday night, BBC One at 9:25. There's Test cricket from Hyderabad, England versus Pakistan, or Pakistan versus England. Sir Alf Ramsey on Poland, who play Wales in the World Cup a week on Wednesday, and England in the summer. Rugby Union with Cliff Morgan, and there's also professional ice hockey. All that, Sports Night, 9:25 Wednesday. Till then, goodbye.